Hey guys, this is Chris from Half Cab Studios, and this is your channel for mixing and producing. Whether you're producing in your bedroom or in the studio, we got you covered. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's move on to the actual video. In today's video, we're going to be going over what you need to start producing something like this to something like this. First off, what you'll need is a computer, an interface, a DAW, some headphones, and a microphone. So before you start going out and spending all your money on unnecessary gear, let's dive into each one of these things and see how you can save some money. Because if you're a musician like me, you probably have no money. So first things first, you want to invest in a good PC or a Mac. So you don't have to necessarily buy the most expensive one, but you don't also want to be cheaping out on getting the cheapest one you can find. So just anything with more than 8 gigs of RAM, a solid state drive, and anything higher than an i5 processor or even the M1 chip, you'll be golden. But don't be the guy that buys a gaming PC or the Mac Studio and can't even produce one song. Next up is the interface. Now, you don't need to go out and buy one of those huge console mixers you see in the studio, and you don't need to buy the most expensive interface like an Apollo on Sweetwater to start out. Anything like a $200 Focusrite or anything that you can find that's well under $400 should be able to do the trick. You just basically need something that can take an audio source that's not digital and put it through a digital device that will basically make sound out of your computer. And honestly, with all these things like saturation or any kind of color you're adding to it, most engineers don't actually want that going in when they're getting source tones. They actually want to start with something completely dry. So again, just grab something that's simple. Am I gonna put a goddamn mixing console anyways? Now, a DAW or a digital audio workstation is the most important part of all these things I feel like you can decide on. Now, if you're already comfortable with a DAW that's professional, I would just move on to the next part of this video. But basically what you want a DAW to be able to do is be compatible with third-party plugins, be able to run high track count sessions, run multiple instruments to record and play back, and be reliable. And I feel like being reliable is the most important out of all those things. I'm looking at you, Pro Tools. I'm looking at you. A great pair of headphones is going to be great for someone who's starting out producing. Now, you could go out and buy some really expensive speakers, or maybe you want like a good sub, but some people can't permit that kind of noise in their apartment or house. So in my opinion, I feel like headphones are perfect for someone starting out producing because it means longer hours to be louder, and you can even still hear those low frequencies that you can't hear out of just 2 speakers. And last but not least, microphones. Now, you could do what I did and just use like a MacBook Pro mic or whatever microphones on your webcam. That's what I started out with, but I wouldn't recommend it for professional use. I would just do that if you're just trying to show a client that you're working with melodies, just to get it across, or maybe someone you're collabing with. But if you're wanting to get something professional, just get like a pretty decently priced dynamic mic or even a cardioid mic if you can find one. And just find something where you can just start practicing vocal techniques and mic placements, and even experiment with source tones. Like, there's so many things you can do with just a microphone that people aren't aware of, that you don't have to have an expensive studio even to do. Now, I don't want you to take away from this video saying go out and buy a bunch of gear, because that's not what I'm trying to say. All I'm saying is this is helping you create, or helping you get to what you want to create faster. So if you have to record on a MacBook Pro mic like I did, or even mix on a 92 Camry speakers, that's just being creative and actually kind of cool that you can actually pull off something really cool sounding out of those things. But as long as you're creating, that's the whole goal of today's video. Thanks again for watching this video. My name is Chris from Half Cab Studios. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe for more producing content.